For as long as humanity has existed, it has lived under the warm, unblinking gaze of a star. The sun, the ancient fire that breathes life into oceans, forests, civilizations, and dreams, has been humanity's silent guardian for billions of years. It shaped the earliest cells that wriggled in primordial waters, nourished the first green leaves that stretched optimistically toward the sky, and lit the paths of migrating humans who gazed upward in awe and fear. The sun was worshipped as a god, studied as a mystery, measured as a source of mathematics, time, and physics. But beneath every myth and every calculation, there lingered a single extraordinary thought. What if we could bring the sun down to Earth? What if we could create our own star, small enough to be contained, powerful enough to illuminate a new era? What if humanity could finally hold the very fire that shaped its destiny? That dream, once dismissed as fantasy or hubris, slowly crystallized into possibility as human understanding deepened. Across centuries, scientists unraveled the sun's secrets, from nuclear fusion to plasma dynamics to the delicate dance of gravity and pressure that keeps a star alive. With every discovery, humanity's relationship to the cosmos subtly shifted. No longer content to simply observe the stars, humans dared to imagine themselves as their architects. The idea of building a star, a replica of the sun, condensed and controlled, became a symbol of ultimate mastery over nature, a challenge to the boundaries of what was thought possible. But behind this scientific ambition lay something far older and more human, the ancient longing to steal fire from the heavens, to shape creation itself with one's own hands. And so, after centuries of dreaming, humanity reached the precipice of a new age. At the intersection of physics, engineering, and imagination, the world began to contemplate the unimaginable, not merely harnessing energy, but creating it in the same way the universe creates its own light. This was not a quest for destruction or dominance. It was a quest for understanding, for a deeper communion with the forces that govern the cosmos. But the closer humanity came to this dream, the more it realized that building a replica of the sun on Earth would be far more than a technological feat. It would be a transformation of identity, power, responsibility, and existence itself. The moment humanity first ignited a sustained artificial star, even a tiny one, was less a technological achievement and more a philosophical shift. It was the instant when humankind no longer stood as passive observers beneath the sun, but as participants in the cosmic blueprint. This replica star, contained within a monumental fusion ring or magnetic chamber, pulsed with the same processes that fuel the stars scattered across the galaxy. Inside its controlled heart, hydrogen smashed together under pressures and temperatures unimaginable to the ancient philosophers who once worshipped sun gods. It glowed not with fire, but with plasma, the primordial substance of creation. To gaze upon it was to glimpse the origin of worlds. Around this artificial sun, humanity built vast research complexes, laboratories designed not just to study energy, but to study the foundations of existence. Engineers, physicists, biologists, and philosophers gathered from every corner of the planet, united by the shared understanding that this tiny star might rewrite the story of civilization. The power it emitted dwarfed every energy source humans had ever used, yet it promised something precious: a clean, near-limitless supply of light and heat that could fuel cities, desalinate oceans, and drive technologies still unborn. The artificial sun became humanity's cornerstone for imagining futures once confined to speculation, where deserts bloom with life, where entire nations run on starlight, and where humanity looks beyond Earth with newfound confidence. Yet as the artificial star burned, a profound question lingered beneath the marvel. What does it mean for a species to hold a star in its hands? The sun, in all its grandeur, is a force beyond control, immense, indifferent, and eternal. But a human-made star is delicate, fragile, and deeply intertwined with human decisions. It demands constant vigilance, precise orchestration, and a global acknowledgement that the power of creation carries consequences as immense as its potential. The artificial star shone not only as a beacon of hope, but also as a reminder of humanity's newfound responsibility. For the first time in planetary history, humans had crafted something capable of reshaping the world not through force, but through illumination. To build a star is to walk a thin line between enlightenment and peril. While the artificial sun promised endless energy and planetary transformation, it also forced humanity to confront the delicate balance between capability and wisdom. The star required containment unlike anything previously engineered. Magnetic fields strong enough to trap a miniature sun, structures resilient enough to withstand temperatures hotter than the core of the Earth, and systems intelligent enough to respond faster than any human hand could react. Entire infrastructures were constructed not to exploit the star, but to protect the world from it. The greatest minds were not those who ignited the sun, but those who ensured it remained stable, harmonious, and safely cradled within its engineered sphere. But the real cost was not measured in metal or materials, it was measured in introspection. As humanity gazed into the swirling plasma of its own creation, it was forced to acknowledge the paradox of power, that the more capable a species becomes, the more humbly it must behave. The artificial sun illuminated not only the potential futures humanity could build, but also the fragility of the world that surrounded it. The star could end energy scarcity, but it could not mend the social divides that had plagued humanity for millennia. It could inspire unity, but only if humanity chose unity over conflict. It could power entire continents, but only if the species wielding it accepted that some technologies require global stewardship, not national ownership. Humanity had always sought power, from fire to electricity to the atom, but never before had it faced a power so symbolic of creation itself. The artificial star, brilliant and contained, became both a triumph and a mirror. It reflected humanity's highest ideals: innovation, cooperation, perseverance. But it also reflected its vulnerabilities: fear, ambition, fragmentation. The sun had always shone impartially upon all life below, but a star made by human hands required something the natural sun never demanded: wisdom. In the years that followed the first ignition, the replica sun reshaped civilization in ways no one fully predicted. Cities redesigned themselves around star-powered grids. Winters grew softer as regions once frozen in darkness were warmed by energy that flowed from humanity's own star. Oceans were purified, farmlands revitalized, and entire economies restructured to accommodate a world where energy scarcity no longer defined conflict. The artificial sun became a symbol not of dominance, but of potential, a gentle reminder that civilization could evolve beyond its past limitations and step into an age defined not by exploitation, but by creation. Yet even as these transformations unfolded, humanity never truly forgot the awe of building a star. It remained a humbling achievement, one that carried the weight of cosmic responsibility. Standing before the swirling plasma of the artificial sun, humans saw not just a scientific marvel, but a reflection of their own journey, from fragile beings seeking shelter from the night to creators capable of forging their own dawn. The star became a testament to humanity's ability to dream, to imagine, to persist, and to transform even the impossible into reality. And perhaps, in this new era of light, humanity finally understood the deepest truth of the universe, that creation is not an act of dominance, but an act of harmony. The artificial sun did not replace the real sun, it honored it. It did not challenge nature, it collaborated with its principles. It did not elevate humanity above the cosmos, it wove humanity more deeply into it. The moment humans built a star on Earth, they did not become gods. They became stewards of a greater future.